Tony, thank you so much for getting us on live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and anywhere else that we can travel. Welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange, Bell's Corners edition on this fine, hang on, rainy September 22nd. So, what's going on? Well, I'm going to share a screen to kind of walk you through what's happening in the Phoenix space. Good things are abound. And you should see the sharing thing happening right now. Now, if you're looking from the outside in, it's pbex.ca. So pbex.ca. I look at my screen, upper left-hand corner, you'll see the URL. Super simple. Member of the week, Steve Brennick-Meyer. Steve does logos, he does websites, he does kind of cool stuff. And he is also an artisan. He does music. If you have a dog to be painted, he'll paint your dog. And not the dog itself, but the art, take a picture, a portrait of it. Well, that all said, I'm going to kind of drill ourselves down here. Monday morning, 8 to 9, just click here. You come on in. That's the Zoom link. Wednesday morning, 8 to 9, we also have the East End group. And Thursday morning, 8 to 9, East End or South End group. Sorry about that. Thursday afternoon, 1 to 2. And then October 7th at 7 p.m. after lodge, after hours group meeting. And what that is all about is Penalty's hosting that, and it's to help any of our Phoenix members stay on track with their tasks, whether it's work or life in general. East Trade Winds is meeting 8 a.m. every Tuesday. Eastern, free to attend. Come on in. Facebook Live Meditation with Tony at 1:30 p.m. on Friday the 26th. Get Zen in your space. Speaking of Zen in your space, a sound bathing event is with Tony on the 24th this week at 7 p.m. Register for that. And I think it's in person as well as online. But if you're too far afield and you're maybe in Scotland or Timbuktu, online is a good thing. Penalty's got dance and movement is medicine with Nia classes. Now, that's available both in person and online. Keeps you limber. Friends Friday potluck. I almost said Friends Friday pot with Penny Lee, which is not the appropriate thing to say. But she's having her Friends Friday potluck, bring food, October 10th at 6:30 p.m. in-person event only. This September 25th. Remember I was mentioning earlier here, Thursdays? Well, they're doing it in person. South End group is meeting in person on the 25th at 7:30 a.m. at the River Lounge. QR directory, someone speaks today and you go, hey, I want to know more about that person from that person. Hit the QR directory, search us up, and you'll be able to find us. You see the QR code over my shoulder. That's kind of the part of the process, and I'll get into that in a second. Canada Food Cupboard is the charity of choice for this year. We did some outstanding work and got them about over $6,000 worth of funds for this year. E-cards, again, back to the QR code. 3,134 times people have used the QR code to find one of us. And that just shows you the power of the service of having or being a member of Phoenix. That card comes with your membership, and it's an e-card, whether you tap, scan, or hit the link. 4.9 plus $1 million worth of business done since 2016. Year to date, business between members, 163,000 plus dollars done. And by the way, if you haven't sent your stats off to Tony, please do so. And with that said, we're going to swing over to Tony for some words of deep wisdom. Tony, wise us up.
Hey, thank you very much, Bernie. You know, I'm reminded the other day of a friend of mine that he and I were talking. He's been in business for, over 25 years at least. And we were chatting just about various marketing things that we're going through. And, you know, we're trying to come up with some different ideas of how to market in this newer 2025 market, you know. And it almost seems like every time we had a suggestion, oh, that's not going to work. Yeah, we tried that years ago. That didn't work. That type of, marketing that we did, that didn't work. So we did the email marketing, and that has limited things, but it depends on what you're saying, that sort of thing. So and it was shortly after that I heard about this story. It was about a king that received two eagle babies in a cage. It was a special breed from a faraway land. and the king was just so happy to see them. And then so he built a beautiful place in his garden, how that these eagles would be able to be raised. Had some amazing trainers as well to raise these little chicks. So after a few months, he saw one eagle flying around the kingdom, but the other one stayed on the branch. And as the days and weeks and months passed, it was still only one eagle in the air. They just couldn't get this one eagle to fly. They checked it out. It's perfectly healthy. It ate well, of course, in the king's chamber. It would always eat very well. But it just somehow it came down to the denominator that it didn't want to fly. So they tried everything. They tried music, they tried whistles, they tried all types of things. Even they brought in another eagle just to give it the idea, hey, you could fly. But nothing seemed to work. Because the king was so frustrated, he figured he would send it out to the kingdom and made an announcement saying that if anyone can make this eagle fly, we will reward you and we'll give you some gold. And shortly after that, when the king woke up the next morning, looked in the sky, flying, no problem. And he says, "What happened? That was fast." So he wanted to meet the person that made that happen. So it was a farmer that stepped forward, a very humble farmer, and the king said, "What on earth did you do? We couldn't figure it out at all. What spell did you use? What trick did you use?" And the farmer said, "Well, I really didn't do much. All I did was cut the branch the eagle was on, and then it just flew." Sometimes in business, when we are basically in a place where we're comfortable, the ideas don't come as well as it usually does. When we start in business, we're in that flight mode where we're going to try just anything to make things work. After we start to get comfortable and things start moving along, we start to get sort of not so much lazy, but we start to look at things in a different way. So really the moral here is comfort is the enemy of growth. Always be in a point in some way in your business that you are uncomfortable, because that is the stretch in which you're trying to move your business in a way that's going to grow. Remember, nothing ever grows as long as you're in a state where you think you're just going to coast through. Even long distance runners, when they are coming through the finish line and they back off, they look back, there's nobody back there. So they're really taking their time, only to find out that two people passed them, because it's always the final 100 meters that they pour it on, and there's this extra energy that comes through. And if you are sort of not really focused, you could come in third thinking that everything is already set and done. So remember this: that comfort is that will be in the way of your growth. All right, back to you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And our LinkedIn live post feed, that is in the chat. So the fickle finger of fate, we're going to swing around. Who's looking at the screen? Well, Mike, you're looking at the screen. I'm going to start off with Mike and then swing over to Carol Lee. Mike, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. And yeah, so Mike here representing Orr Motors, located in the heart of Stittsville. And my role with Orr Motors is business, but mainly community development. And Orr Motors, just to let you know, has an extensive inventory of pre-owned vehicles and specializes in late luxury SUVs and late model high-end pickup trucks. But at Orr Motors, success is not just measured in numbers. It's defined by the differences that they make in people's lives. And being part of this community means much more than just doing business. It means investing in people, organizations, causes that are close to their heart to make the area a better place for anyone. Over the years, Orr Motors has the privilege of supporting local charities, youth groups, community events, and so on. And so a great referral for Orr Motors is if you know somebody that's in the market for looking for a late model vehicle, please let me know and I'll introduce them directly to Fred, who's the owner. And yeah, so Orr Motors making Mike representing Orr Motors, and the greatest gift of living comes from the joy of giving.
Mike, thank you so much. Free cyber training. So in other words, what not to click, and it's delivered by Cyberhoot, and that's through the East Trade Winds. Kara Lee, over to you, and then we will bounce over to Eric.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Just a quick update on how things are going here at the Food Bank World at the Canada Food Cupboard. We're gearing up for a busy few weeks. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and we're already in Thanksgiving mode here at the Canada Food Cupboard. Thanksgiving to us means helping about 650 families. That's our estimated projection this year of how many families will be reaching out. We actually distribute our Thanksgiving hampers before Thanksgiving. So we're doing that on Wednesday, October the 8th. And we just launched registration, and within less than 24 hours, we had 215 families sign up already. So a lot of people need help this Thanksgiving, and we're here to help them. Obviously, being an independent food bank, we don't exist without support from our community. So we are having another big fundraiser up and coming the end of October. And this one is geared towards helping our school snacks program. School snacks is important to us. We believe that children need all the healthy choices to thrive throughout the day. So we're very proud of our school snacks program. And with that being said, I've got a little poster here to put up. I will share this with you all. We're having an event taking place on October the 27th. It's called Canada Bites and Delights. It's happening at the Brook Street Hotel. It's a big event for us. It's going to be lots of little tastings of lots of culinary treats throughout from different vendors throughout Canada, as well as some liquor establishments are participating as well, some breweries and some wineries. So tickets are $100 a person. So I'll share that with you as well. But again, grateful to be part of this group and to help get the word out of the importance of not just our food bank, but all food banks within the city of Ottawa. And thanks you all. And I'm going to miss you all next week, so I'll see you in 2 weeks. But thank you all. Bye-bye.
Carly, thank you so much. So, since we're on the topic of food, bakeries, you know anybody that's running one? Let us know. Have them introduce them to you, Penny Lee. Have them become a member and maybe even help support Carolee's Canada Food Cupboard. We'll go to Eric and then we will swing over to Jacqueline. Eric, over to you, sir. Eric, you muted. Eric, you can keep talking, but we can't hear you, man.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Thank you, Bernie, for surprising me again as I come back with a cup of coffee. Last week was the memorable week of last week of summer, because I got delivered, the manuals for the upcoming tax year on, practitioner's GST manual, practitioner's income tax manual, practitioner's state manual, and that has a morbid title. It's called "When I Die." That's what they called the book, and the corporation's tax manual. So, that's my reading for the fall, and like it's not that I'm going to read it in depth, right? Because the Income Tax Act hasn't changed that much, and the books I was given are going to change probably before the end of before Christmas again, because the budget is coming in October, so that will change the taxes, and the government that we have right now is going to do a lot of work with the Tax Act to either make it better or make it worse, or make it more positive for some people, more negative for other people. That's coming. The other thing that's coming in October that you will hear is the ability to trade among us in Canada. they are targeting positions that are not filled properly. Like you might have, 50 doctors in Rainy River, Ontario, and one doctor in Winnipeg. So it's allowing those 50 doctors in Rainy River, Ontario, to work in Winnipeg without having to apply to the College of Physicians and get licenses and so on, as long as they have the licenses in Ontario. So that's coming, and my office, excuse me, my office is targeted to being the tax office for the new national firm. So I will be doing, appeals and objections and that kind of work. We will continue working with the clients we have, but referrals will come up for tax from the other 6 or 7 offices that we have, for us to train them or to present their tax position to the government, or to make the tax position of their client. So that's what we're doing in 2026. I can't wait. I can't wait. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but that's marketing. That's marketing, as Tony says. And my idea of marketing is that you go hunting when the ducks are out. You don't go hunting when the ducks are not out. So you market when you're busy, and you market when you are doing well, not when you're doing badly. Anyways, that's the humble thoughts of an accountant. Everything else about me, it's on the chat line.
Eric, thank you so much. And in the chat, you'll see East Trade Winds, and Eric has spoken in that space and delivered words of wisdom. You can actually find him on the YouTube channel. And Jacqueline, over to you, and then we will swing over to Dwight. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
Good day. On Saturday, I did take a long, deep breath. I needed to lift my shoulders, take them back, and drop them down, because I was a guest speaker at Women Speak Up. And it was extraordinary to see women who decided it was really important for all of us to get together in person. Did you know in Canada, there's almost 250,000 female entrepreneurs that represent 1 in 5 small businesses? I sat on the Prime Minister's Task Force for Female Entrepreneurs in 2003, and the report is about an inch thick. That's a lot of paper at that time. And it said what we all knew. God love us, for every dollar he'll make, she's okay with 50 cents. Thankfully, it's shifting and changing. Women are still undercapitalized, underleveraged. However, there's people like you and me who believe we're going to help with a step up. I was able to talk to them about not just money, but taking long, deep breaths, lift their shoulders, take them back, drop them down, and know that they have the ability to do and be what they want to be. It was an extraordinary opportunity. And I'm Jacqueline Richards. And when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, man, you got to contact your mortgage honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. So, you got some event that's coming up. You share it with Kat Hurd. She'll help propagate it through the Phoenix channels. So I think Carolee's probably already sent something to Kat about the upcoming event, and that's the perfect way to go. Mr. Dwight, over to you, sir, and then we will swing over to Kelly.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Dwight and Nicole here from Taste Sweet Life Catering. We specialize in creating Caribbean foods. We've had a monstrous week and weekend vending from our food truck. And this past weekend, we had a couple of events that we had prepped all week for and partook in. So we had a Vive and Thrive event, which is a private event more on the spiritual side, spiritual healing side. We had probably about 75, 80 people that were there, and about 10 or 15 vendors, and went really, really well. We had quite a bit of our meals that were there that the clients bought up. And then yesterday we were at the Greeley Good Market, which is over on Bank Street, 5770 Bank Street. Busy day turned out to be. And yeah, so it kept us going all weekend, all week. And I guess right now we're just prepping again to head off to the food truck, which will be at for the rest of the week from 11 to 7, Monday to Thursday, and Thursday and Friday we'll be there until 8 o'clock. So there, if you want a taste of all your vegan option plus some meat dishes, just pop on over. It's at 8717 Bank Street, right as soon as you touch the town of Vernon. We're the only eatery around for about 10 or 15 minutes, so if you miss it, you won't be eating for 10 or 15 minutes. But pop on over. Like I said, we have quite a bit of I said all our vegan options plus some meat options to add into your palates, and come and enjoy some of our tasty Caribbean cuisine. Again, Dwight Nicole, Taste Sweet Life Catering, and where we just make everything nice and sweet for you. Thanks.
Right, thank you so much. We're also looking for a chimney cleaning technician. So you got an Oliver Twist moment happening out there. Have them reach out to Penny Lee. Kelly, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, sunshines. I am coming at you from my car this morning. I'm your Ottawa-based and Toronto servicing real estate agent. So I specialize in selling, listing homes. I also do help with buying. So don't hesitate to contact me. We're a very hands-on team. If you have any questions, even just preparatory questions in advance of listings, it's such a crazy process for people who are unfamiliar. That's why you go to your agent. That's why you get someone who's very familiar, who knows exactly what the process is going to look like and can take you through by the hand. So yeah, I guess I tried doing a few BAMs over the week. I had a bit of a glitch with my login. I think we figured it out. And yeah, so I do anticipate I'm searching for somebody who's going to support me with some print marketing from our team. I look forward to engaging with somebody in that regard. Other than that, maybe you can see a car full of staging items. So I'm on the way to develop a staging strategy for my next listing. And that's it. You can contact me at kelly@kellyharrigan.ca. kellyharrigan.ca is my webpage. Call or text anytime. I'll be able to immediately respond at 416-274-2532. And that's it. I really look forward to hearing from you.
Kelly, thank you so much. And stay safe in the travels.
Will do.
Next quick tidbit of information. Mike can help stand in for you if you are not available for a meeting. So if the calendars align, Mike's there to help support your endeavor. And we're going to swing over. Let's see where the fickle finger of fate takes us next. Mr. Sam, over to you, sir, and then Tony.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Sam Sturs, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Dash cameras are my main thing, especially for people like Kelly who drive their car a lot. Dash cameras come in very handy in the case of an accident in a parking lot or on the street to prove your innocence. Without that, often you go to court and the judge will look at the people that are there and say, well, did you react to the action or did you actually see it happen? I know that because it happened to me back in Halifax many years ago, and the witnesses are discounted, and then it's just you against the person who's lying about the accident, and you end up 50-50. That actually happened to me. Anyway, dash cameras come in handy for that. Besides that, they actually help when you deter people from stealing your vehicle. If you don't know that, cars are still being stolen in the area, maybe not as much as they were 2 years ago, but they still are, and you need a dash camera to deter people from stealing your vehicle. Anyway, besides dash cameras, I also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs, And if you're driving your vehicle and you hear nasty noises, scrapes, squeaking, putting your brakes and it pulls left or right, I do estimates and I don't charge for them. So if you have an issue and maybe get a high estimate, come by and I can tell you what I can do for you and let you know what the charge will be. BAMS wise, let's see. Well, Bernie's wife's vehicle, the other part that I rejected, is supposed to come in tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll set up a meeting with Bernie for that to install. And last Thursday, Jacqueline did something for me. It was very nice. She mentioned that her husband likes wearing a T-shirt that I gave away at the golf tournament, and very happy about that. So if you have a T-shirt that I've given away, I appreciate you or someone in your family wearing it to market my business. Thank you very much. Sam Sters, connectedcars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and a lot more.
Sam, thank you so much. If you're doing BAMs, one place to do them would be the Ad Hive. And if you want to do a BAM with me and in person, that's a good place to go. And there's a little bistro, you can sit back and shoot the breeze. Mr. Tony Jennis, what's behind door number 2?
Okay, well, thank you, Bernie. Did you get Shane and another? I guess they're going to come after. Okay.
I'll swing over to Shane. Thank you. I appreciate
no
that.
problem. Okay. Just a little thing I found out that Sam brought up was the theft on the cars. I've got a Toyota. It's one of the things on the list that I guess people are looking for in that way. But there's something that it's called a tag. Speedy Auto Glass has a tag where they can install. It takes about a couple of hours to install a unit that if your car is stolen, then you could shut that car off while it's going anywhere because it has a GPS that's tracked to it. It's also worldwide. So if your car ends up on a boat, they can track it from wherever it is, anywhere in the world. And you could, there was one case where there was a couple of cars on a ship and the whole ship had to turn around to come back to bring the cars back. So I think Speedy has this, it's normally $400. If you're with Cooperator Insurance, it's about $275. So just thought I would share that in case you do have a car that might be high in the theft, and that Speedy Auto Glass can put this in. This is a free plug for them. We should maybe call them up. But that's what we're going to be doing. Is our insurance is actually going to go down by over $1,000 a year if we can put this on, because the insurance is based on the theft. So if they really reduce the way that they can steal it, then it's a better rate. So the Tony Jennis from Hire Yourself. I am your spirit guy. We have a sound bath coming up this Wednesday at 7 to 9 p.m. In the evening. And it's going to be based on letting things go. It's basically, if people are still having a challenge, holding on to old things, holding on to old patterns. And I've got some new bowls and some new stuff that I can't wait to try out on Wednesday. So we'll work on that. I'm also teaching a class on Sunday. It's an international class. It's for a new technique that we're doing, and I need 2 volunteers that would like, if they would like a free tuning session. It's worth about $150, but because we're teaching this technique, you can get it for free. So if you know of somebody who needs a tuning session, they need to come in person though. It's not a long distance tuning, unfortunately. Sorry, Kat. So if they want to come in, I need one person at 1 o'clock to show the technique, and one person at 5 to do the final instruction. So if you know of anybody, or if you're interested yourself, give me a call. Just make the thing in your email. It could be white light. Any of those. Even the Phoenix email is good too. Just let me know you're interested, and then I'll put you in. Okay. And as far as Dwight, I tried to find you on the weekend. I tried to find Dwight to buy some patties. He was at this one farmer's market, And then for the life of me, I couldn't find it. And I know Carlton plays pretty well. But anyway, it's maybe next time, Dwight. We'll try and meet up again. And yeah, so that's did a ongoing business, of course, with Eric and his crew there. I just love those guys, and looking forward to. And Shane, I sent some business to you from this lady in Buckingham. She again came over, and I think they got their both backs done. So they usually come over from Buckingham. They pass about 400 chiropractors to come to see Shane. They stay over at a hotel just because of the distance, and then they go back the next day. So, boy, Shane, whatever you're doing is working, man. So, well, way to go. Tony Jennis, hi yourself. We are here to raise your spirits.
Tony, thank you so much. And hang on. You know what? LinkedIn, it's a powerful connecting tool. Invite a few people into the Phoenix Business Exchange Inc. LinkedIn page. Get involved. It'll help build the network. Mr. Shane, speaking of the devil, what be going on your end of the day?
Hey guys, thanks Tony. I'm trying to stay out of the rain. It's going to rain. Well, it's raining. Started not raining. Now it's raining. But anyways, I'm staying there for and health and performance, aches and pains and concussions. So what Mr. Dennis over there was talking about is yes, they come a long way. Thank you, Tony, for sending them my way. Max, hold on, take this. Have a good one, buddy. Yeah, they come a long way, but he's here for a concussion thing. It's a long-standing one, a chronic thing. They've done very well with taking in some of the advices and suggestions I've given them. So I'm glad they're able to come over, but they're not coming as often because they don't need to. And I know Tony's taking care of them spiritually, so that's awesome. So what's the big thing now? What's on Sunday, guys, the 27th, is Concussion Walk Manitic. So I know you guys all visited the farmers market in Lansdowne to see Dwight and his great food. So you might want to take a venture down to Saturdays just to see Manitic. We're there 10 to 2. There's a free restorative yoga class. There'll be some light refreshments. We're going to do a little bit of walk in this great scenic over the bridge, see the water, go across, see the leaves in their best of colors, and come support those people that their injury doesn't look, physical. It's not a cast. It's not a tensor bandage or brace. So come and see them. Give them awareness. Hopefully it'll help with funding and things like that too, okay? So that's the 27th Manitic Marketplace. Take us on Facebook, okay? Concussions being noticed. Take care, guys. Thanks again.
Shane, good luck on the rest of the stroll there and stay dry, man. All right, for myself, and then we'll swing over to Josh, who's doing the presentation today. Creative Insight. We're actually cruising along, doing pretty good. Actually, this is our third year being there. LinkedIn says, "Hey, ta-da!" So third year, over about 9,000 downloads a week, which is cruising really well. That's pretty heavy and heady, and yeah. It's great. One of my co-host Wayne Pratt's got a book out there called Freshly Brewed Coaching. It's available on his website. I reach out to him, and also just going back to AdHive during the renovations. Apparently hammers and drills and saws are louder than any mic attenuation services I could possibly get. So I actually did my podcast recording at AdHive. So there's always an option there. And if you become a member there, part of that fee, it goes towards any services you capitalize on that space. Now, without much ado, Mr. Lamb, tell us a story.
Morning, folks. I'm Josh Lamb, and I'm doing the presentation this morning. I have slideshow ready to go for you, and computer that is not fully cooperating, but it will be in a second because we make computers cooperate. That's what we do, and so just bear with me here.
Hear this little German voice in the background. You will cooperate, yeah?
Yeah, that guy's working in the back. you go. All right. So this is our MSP presentation. I'm the owner of a company that does managed services support, which means basically we are essentially your CTOs, your chief technology officers. That means that regardless of your size, whether you're a one-person startup or whether you're a large company that needs either total coverage for your IT department, because we are your IT department, or you just need augmentation for your IT department because you already have an existing large one, but you need some special expertise. Those are the types of services that we offer. And so because we are positioned to be any of those things, and one of those things being your total IT support department, we have a number of systems in place that help us monitor and proactively keep your technology healthy. Things like early warning systems. So we have a monitoring platform that watches things like a hard drive is starting to show signs that maybe in a month or 2 or 3, it might fail. There are indicators in hard drives. They're called smart monitors that send signals off indicating that, oh, it tried to read this bit or byte X number of times, and those numbers get out of whack, and you as a user don't notice anything because 1,000 read attempts at a bad sector on your hard drive still only takes like a second, so it might not really come up as something where you feel like, oh, okay, there's actually a big problem here. It just feels like, oh, it took a second longer to load a file than it usually does. But our monitoring tools can catch that kind of stuff. And that's one very specific example, but we have all kinds of monitors like this. So yeah, this is, let's talk MSP. So not having an IT services provider translates into essentially not having an insurance policy. You don't really notice that you don't have it until you need it. And so needing it might be something small, and you get those daily irritations of that printer that's still not working with those workstations, and users that complain, get upset, decide to go on a coffee break instead of just going and getting a printout that they were, wasn't part of their daily work process. But then it all goes all the way up to disaster recovery. And so in this example, so we had a 10-user firm with a file server that went down. They basically were out of that file server for 8 hours. They weren't our customer yet at this time. So an 8-hour outage is something that our customers do not experience. But they did have an outage. They did have an incumbent provider who was not ready to manage that. They ended up having us being on site for a different purpose, and we were able to give them instruction to help them get back working. But yeah, they typically have a 70% utilization rate of billable time. They can only work 30% their normal level of productivity. Their file server has critical files for their customers, their clients, and without access to that, they're run to a slowdown. And then basically, yeah, they had that existing provider that started remediation 2 hours after failure, but still they were down for about 8 hours. And so the calculation of billable time loss, average estimates, you end up costing yourself $5,300 for one critical outage. So downtime is not cheap, and it can be a big problem when you still have a bunch of team members that are critical to you and that need a payroll. So there's a cool graphic cloud of all the kinds of things that can hit you and hurt you. And so typical frustrations with incumbent providers can be a lack of accountability, unpredictable IT costs, chronic IT issues, downtime costs, and misaligned objectives. And so what that looks like, let's start from misaligned objectives and work our way around this list. Their objective is to set it and forget it. Their objective is to make sure that they maximize profit around you. And I mean, we're all in business to make profit, but we particularly are in business to make your lives less stressful and less challenging. That's our bragging rights to our fans is that we actually care. We're invested in you emotionally. We treat your network as if it's our network. And so our goal is not just to be able to ignore you until things get bad. It's to make sure that everything is running so smoothly that you don't notice that you have technology that needs maintenance, that needs monitoring, that needs automation, that needs budget and just watching. Downtime costs, we just went over that. Chronic IT issues, again, kind of lines up with that misaligned objectives. If they are not really keeping you as a priority, then that printer issue that you have after the software update and your software doesn't talk to your printer anymore, you might live with that for a while. And maybe one of your front desk ladies or gentlemen will not be able to print and fully do their job, and they have to jump onto another workstation and reopen that client file every time they want to do a print job. And in fact, we had a customer that had a similar situation on Friday, and our team had it resolved within a couple hours. Unpredictable IT costs. So our engagement models allow us to be very predictable. Our deluxe plan, which we recommend for everyone, is essentially a one cost per month, and all of your IT support is done. And we have a roadmap of maintenances and monitoring that we do, and proactive monitoring in our month, and also just regular support workstation calls for the typical workday of a person. I'm having issues with my phone. I'm having issues with my worksheet. I don't know how to do this in Excel. All those kinds of calls, email issues, all that kind of stuff are covered, and they're just part of that one predictable monthly bill. And so the only time that you have something that goes over and above that is when you have something totally unique that would be a project that you've never done before. And then we talk about a budget for that. And yeah, the lack of accountability. So for our plans, whether they be that deluxe plan or our basics plan or just standard time and materials, we have work reports available every week. And so if you need to know where your money is going, if you need to be strategic and say, okay, let's try to push back a little bit on, let's try to pull back a little bit on our IT spending, and we need to understand how we're spending that money and where and why, then we have these work reports that give you quite a lot of detail, and then they reference tickets in our support system, and those give you detailed accounts of what happened. And so that can give you transparency so that you can feel like you're getting your money's worth, because we're not just working in the shadows quietly billing you. We are accountable for the things that we do for your business, and we're ready and willing to present to you what happened. So our approach is basically an assessment and onboarding. Once we onboard you, we give you a healthy IT plan. So we highlight all the things in an audit that your business could be doing properly, that they're not doing currently, that affect your security, that affect your usability and your user experience. Once we deliver that, we manage that process, we protect your network. And so our RMM tools, our remote monitoring tools, come packed in with a suite of software that help you with that. Antivirus is one, web monitoring and protection is another, and the list goes on. And then we work on optimization. And so that's where the fact that the other half of our business is we're a managed services, with the other half being integration, automation, custom software. So we can look at how your business operates today, how things are redundant, painful, and causing duplication, causing human error, and really preventing you from scaling. You can take advantage of automation, and we know how to do that so that you can scale your business to give a consistently good experience to customers, to more customers, the same consistently good experience that you're today giving with more people to fewer customers. And that allows you to take that same team and serve more customers, build more relationships. And so we then take your technology and take it out of the cost, and we put it into your profit center. So what's a managed services agreement look like? 1 monthly fee for tech support. We're a true partnership. We're your CTOs. We'll have a meeting with you on request and a monthly scheduled if you're under our deluxe to talk about where you are now and where you'd like to be and how we can help facilitate that with your technology solutions. Got a comprehensive solution. That's again where that RMM thing comes into place. We have an agreement in place, and so you understand what you're getting into. Constant information from your network, so we're monitoring that. Our support plan is tailored to your needs, and again, with our TNM, our basics, and our deluxe levels of engagement, we can find something that suits the size of your business and your appetite and budget. Strategic approach. So I think that the strategy aspect is clear here, and just a total alignment to your goals. And so again, we're not a set it and forget it company. We want to make your IT make you money. I don't know what I'm looking at for time here, and I feel like I might jump a little bit. Yeah. Remote monitoring and management, our RMM tool. So it's a piece of software that we install on every workstation in your network. It has monitoring for all of your Windows event logs, which is how we get visibility into things like that failing hard drive, a hard drive getting too full, a overusage of memory, a pattern that might represent failing memory, and all that kind of thing. Monitoring things like you have software on your computer that is out of date, that has failed getting patched. We have automated patching as well. So it both helps manage Windows updates. It can withhold Windows updates that are known to have hardware incompatibilities, which can prevent. We have seen some customers come to us specifically because they had hardware that went down and they couldn't get it back up because a Windows update was overly ambitious and a little aggressive and went out before testing was sufficient. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's a Microsoft pattern and it does happen. So this RMM tool, it also has, as I said, a software suite installed with it. And so that can be your antivirus. It can be a tool called EDR, which is like antivirus on steroids. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And it can be Cove, which is a backup solution that we offer. And so we cover your backups and disaster recovery too. It also has an inventory of all your hardware and software. And so we can monitor the software that's installed to make sure that your users are not putting junkware on your computers. And it also has remote assistance that lets us support you remotely without having to come on site. Bitdefender is the antivirus that's baked into that RMM solution. We're big fans of Bitdefender, and we're also big fans of SentinelOne, which is EDR. Now, what's the difference between EDR and antivirus? EDR is basically antivirus with AI backing it. And so it watches behaviors of programs on your computer to see if they're doing something that looks kind of suspicious, and they flag it for you and ask you if you want it to proceed. So typical historical antivirus works by 1 million people get their computers smoked by some new day zero virus. And then they bring them into computer shops and they report the contents of those failed hard disks to forensics. And those forensics go up to your Nortons and your Bitdefenders, and they find signatures and fingerprints of malicious software and they bake them into their virus definitions. And then a week or two later, they issue those with their updates. And so that means when you're getting a update from your antivirus that's helping you stay current, that's based on the misfortune of, anywhere from a couple thousand to 100,000 to even 1 million people in the worst case, having some kind of thing take them out, which also implies that you could be part of that lucky first wave. And so antivirus is not perfect. It's way better than not having it because, you don't want to be part of the people still getting smoked by week 12 of the virus that most of the big providers knew about by week 1 or week 2. But what can be superior is something like Sentinel-1 and EDR, which monitors what the software, even if it doesn't have a signature for it, it monitors what suspicious software is doing in real time, and it can flag things and stop harm from coming to your data before it happens. And so we highly recommend Sentinel-1, and that's part of our RMM solution for deluxe users. So we manage servers, workstations, networks, overall security with antivirus, hosted anti-spam, manage backups. That's our Cove. We also have an on-site hybrid solution called Vault, which essentially does local backups so that you don't have to download your entire backup over the network, over the internet, sorry. And so that can save you recovery time. It can mean that you're back in business in an hour instead of 8 hours when you're using your internet connection to download offsite backups. We prefer to see a hybrid of both, where you have on-site and off-site backups. So if your building burns down, or if your backup server gets compromised, then you have the off-site as well. And most of the time, those two kind of edge cases are not going to be the case. And instead, you're going to be happy that you have a local backup, which has a high capacity and has the ability to use your local network speeds, which are typically, you know, at least 10 times faster than your internet speeds between devices in-house. And so that gets you covered much quicker. We're an Office 365 and Microsoft 365 reseller. So all these programs we support, we sell licenses for, and our costing is really about the same as buying from Microsoft Direct, except then you get a streamlined support system with us being your first point of contact. We also have a couple open source solutions that we support: OwnCloud, SuiteCRM, MediaWiki. Get your own wiki to document everything, just like Wikipedia. So now you have searchable documentation for your business that you and your team can work on. It's super, super easy to build it. It's basically like taking notes in a notepad with a little bit of flair. SuiteCRM is a sales management platform. It is beautiful and it's free. OwnCloud is kind of a drop-in replacement for Dropbox. If you don't like the licensing that you're paying on a Dropbox or on OneDrive or something like that, you can get OwnCloud and host your own sharing of files. And Sterling Vault is our Vault solution for our shared backups or local backups. So can you afford to increase your productivity, your alignment, your transparency for IT, and just your overall IT productivity, and reduce the total cost of IT management and your emergency issues? If you can, then give me a call and let's talk about how we can make your tech stop just being a money pit, and an unreliable money pit at that, and start being a reliable way to keep you in business, to scale, and to make you more money and less stress. I'm Josh Lamb, Storm Grace Tech. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. Does anybody have a question for Josh? Sam, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, thanks for your presentation. I keep getting notices that, is it Microsoft that's no longer supporting, I think it is Windows 10 or something or other?
Yeah, as of, I think it's the 12th or 15th of October, Windows 10 is going end of life. What that means is Microsoft is not supporting it anymore, and they won't be releasing security updates. Doesn't mean that you have to stop using it, but it does mean that if you're a business and you care about not getting hijacked by a virus on October 16th, you shouldn't be on Windows 10. And that's opened up a whole complicated can of worms for our customers and for us, because Windows 11 has some new requirements and does not support legacy hardware. So if you have an Intel processor and you've heard about Core i3, i5, i7, that kind of stuff, most of their model numbers are 5 digits, I think. Some of the newer ones are 4 digits. But the first digit or first 2 digits usually represent the generation. And so you see things like i5 7000 something, or i5 6000 something, i5 9. They're up to 14,000 now, I think. And they've started moving into a new numbering scheme that's only 4 digits with the 14 at the beginning. If it's older than an 8000, there's a good chance that it is not going to support Windows 11. The motivation behind that, there's a thing called TPM, which means Trusted Platform Module, which is a complicated industry jargon term. It basically means it keeps a bunch of encryption keys on it that can help you encrypt your hard drive. So you can use things like Microsoft's got their BitLocker, which means if your hard drive ever gets stolen, if they rip it out of your computer and try to use it, that thing is encrypted, and only these keys in this TPM thing, which is on your motherboard, can decrypt it. And so you don't notice it as a user. It's like a password that's auto-entered every time you start your hard drive. Not everybody uses it. It's one of those things that only about 20% of business users even use. But it was important enough to Microsoft that they decided that they would not support Windows 11 without TPM. And so most computers that came out 7th gen Intel, and I don't remember which gen it was for AMD, but if you have like a 7th gen or older Intel, there's a good chance that it doesn't have TPM, which means it does not support Windows 11, which means you need to buy new hardware so that you can upgrade your Windows before that deadline, which is fast approaching. As you said, it's in October. So hopefully that doesn't make anybody's anxiety more severe. I know that I have some anxiety around this on behalf of my customers, because some people just want to put this off, and unfortunately we're coming to a deadline. So
okay, so what does this mean in the end, Josh? If you have Outlook, or this is a hardware issue?
Yes, it's so if you have Windows 10,
yeah,
in
I have
October,
that,
yeah, so October, you should be on Windows 11 at some point. And if you can't get on Windows 11 because you have an old laptop, well,
I have an old
Microsoft
laptop.
doesn't care. Microsoft doesn't care that you don't want to buy a new laptop. They just say, tough luck, get a new laptop or get Windows 11 not on your computer and deal with the Wild West of Windows 10 without updates. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but that's kind of where we're at.
So what's connected to Windows 10? You've got Word and the PowerPoint, but that's a software though. That's all those are.
Well, yeah, your operating system. So every time you start your computer, if you're on Windows 10, that's what you're on, right? And so,
okay.
you know, Windows 11 is your operating system that they want to get you onto, and your all of your software is supported on it. You know, it's rare to find cases where there's software that works on 10 that doesn't work on 11. You'll see stuff that works on 8 or 7 or XP that doesn't work on 11. And most of that stuff doesn't work on 10 either. But, well, a lot of the older stuff doesn't work on 10 either. But yeah, it's more of a question of, does your hardware support Windows 11? And that's a question that you should get answered soon if you don't know.
Okay.
So, and we can help you answer it, by the way. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a question I would ask.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you so much.
I am glad Toyota doesn't act like that.
Toyota?
You're getting the aftermarket person,
or we're not updating it. Yeah.
Closing quote is: you have to work on the business first before it works for you. And Miss Adewa, yes, that name.
Yes.
You figure that out. You tell me. I'll be more than glad to enunciate.
Okay.